In our study in Zechariah, we're now in chapter 12. And towards the end, the second half of chapter 12, it begins in verse 10 with perhaps a new thought. And read it with me. I will pour out on the house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and pleas for mercy, so that when they look on me, on him whom they have pierced, they shall mourn for him as one mourns for an only child, and weep bitterly over him as one weeps over a firstborn. I want to break this down for you because we see here that the first step is people mistreat God. Second step is after people mistreat God, God gives them grace. God is a gracious God. Step 3 is that when people realize that they have mistreated God and God still extends them grace, people mourn and they weep because they realize that they have mistreated the Almighty God. And isn't that interesting? Because I believe it's that same thought that we see in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 4 when Jesus says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." Mourning, a spiritual mourning over our spiritual sinfulness. Maybe you may be thinking that I don't have much to be mournful for. I don't have very many sins in my life. Well, do this math with me. If I, a male, Caucasian male, living in the United States of America, live my longest life, the average is 78.9 years, okay? So if I live that life as I'm expected to, and I sin one time per day for the rest of my life, that would give me 28,818 sins to be mournful over. 28,818. If you don't think that we have a reason to mourn and to be sorrowful for all the things that we've done and how we've mistreated God, then you don't truly understand sin. God is a gracious God, but we need to be a sorrowful people to accept the graciousness of God.